Good afternoon, explorers, and welcome back to Exploration Place. I'm Daniel with another behind-the-scenes look at Imaginate, our world traveling exhibit, and we are so excited to have you with us again today. We're going to be looking at some of the more motion-based aspects of Imaginate today. We can't wait to have you back here with us, but in the meantime, this is one of the segments of the exhibit where you actually get to build things, and this is a little bit of animation in a way. Once you've built something that goes onto the motion base, you slide the motion base here into the test stand, and then you can animate it with some motion. So this one is kind of a bucket looking thing. I made this. This is about how creative my brain is on Mondays. I'm giving into Monday with the white flag, so we can actually wave the white flag from right over here. Now, once you've built your sculpture, kinetic sculpture, if you will, you can take it over here and you actually plug it into the wall. There's several plugs where you can put them in, and then you hit this button, it actually animates all of them at the same time. So you and your friends could get together 6 feet apart, build your kinetic sculpture, bring it over, put it in the wall, and then when you're all ready, you hit the button and you could actually compose your own play. It'd be a lot of fun. So look forward to that when we get back. Another section right here is working with gears. And these gears, you've got this gear at the top that makes our sculpture move. Of course, we got a bird up here. Don't forget this week's stay-at-home STEM challenge is to build a bird feeder using recycled or upcycled materials and get it to our website or to the email discover@exploration.org by Wednesday night at midnight. But this one, basically, you want to make it so that when you turn the crank, it animates our bird. So I'm looking at this. It looks like probably I can put in one of these. Oh, yep, just like that. And now I should be able to turn my crank and break it. That's what I can do. I'm really good at that. It looks like I've got a cog missing in my machine. So we're going to put that right back in there. And if I go slow, it will make my bird go after the wall. If anybody has woodpeckers in their neighborhood, you're familiar with that silhouette right there. Now, probably one of my favorite parts of Imaginate is right over here, and this is the stop motion animation section. Now, animation is one of those things that all of us grew up watching cartoons thinking, how do they do that? Well, there's a special type of cartoon or animation that's made called stop motion animation. It's been very, very popular in social media and on YouTube. And we just happen to have on staff here at Exploration Place a professional animator. And yeah, that's Denzel. Most people didn't know that.
Thank you, Daniel.
Well, you know, you have done some things in the animation world, making you a professional animator. And if you've seen our live science show, Roll Your Reaction, the chemistry show, there's some stop action in that, stop motion in that. Denzel is the person behind, the brain behind, and the creative side of those videos. And so we've asked Mr. Denzel to talk a little bit about the stop motion aspect of our exhibit. So there's actually a place in the exhibit where you can use the table, we've got a camera, there's lights, and then the computer to actually create stop motion animation. So Denzel, what are you working on today?
Well, actually, I brought out some of my books that I haven't appeared at for quite some time, and I was working on making a motorcycle move through some obstacles. So I actually have it kind of working right here. If you want to get a little close, I'll hit the play movie feature. Here we are. So we got a little motorcycle, obstacles, moving, dodging, and then of course, you got to get out of there, right? So there's a lot of things about animation that I really, really love, just about everything about it. I like that you can take things, especially in the stop motion world, and you can give it life. That's the entire point of animation, is to bring life to something that has no life. And just that kind of weirdly poetic nature of it is just kind of awesome to me, but also just the fact that it's something that I did. I made that thing look like it's moving around and dodging blocks, and I even made the book bounce, which is pretty cool. So there's a lot of things you can do with animation. What's something that you wanna learn about?
All right. So when you were making the motorcycle do the the swerve. How do you get that swervy action without your hand being in the frame?
Sweet. So let's move my books out of the way. So if you are ever interested in animation, I recommend both of these books, Illusion of Life and, of course, the Animator's Survival Kit. It's what I had to learn when I was learning. So one of the most important things, at least with stop motion, it's one of the three, I classify three different types of animation. Okay, stop motion is all about moving props. You can do it in other ways too, but we're just going to move props. So in order to make my motorcycle move, I actually took a picture of it, and this one I took 2 pictures of it, in one position with my hands out of the way. We then moved it to another location, took 2 more pictures of it, and then I moved it to another location, took 2 more pictures of it. So that's basically how I did the intro. To make the blocks look like they were passing by or the bike was driving through the blocks, I left the bike exactly where it was, and I took the blocks, I took pictures, I moved it, took pictures, moved it, took pictures, moved it. That's all I did.
Okay.
To sneak a lean, now here's one of the things that you have to be aware of when you do stop motion animation, is that there's really nothing you can do with the prop if it doesn't have it already built into it. I'll explain in just a moment. So when I went to lean, my bike just fell, which is unfortunate. But I happen to have some black
Pipe cleaner.
Thank you, pipe cleaner. I have some black pipe cleaner, and I kind of tucked it away really, really close to the body. So if you were just casually watching the video, you wouldn't actually see the pipe cleaner at all. But if you take a closer look, you'll definitely see the pipe cleaner on the sides of the bike. So that's kind of one of those tricks you can use. I've also seen a lot of monofilament wire, like fishing lure wire, that you can use in order to like make things fly and float around.
Yeah, I remember doing that when I was a little kid with my little Dukes of Hazzard car, and I'd make it look like it was jumping over other cars by hanging it with monofilament.
Yeah.
Back then, it took a lot longer to get film back and see the whole
Yeah.
process.
Yeah,
and I probably forgot.
Back when we put them in tubes, right?
Right, yeah, and let
exactly.
everybody else look at it before we did.
So one of the aspects about animation, especially if you're using wire or anything like that, is you have to remember that you're taking pictures, and those individual pictures add up to make your movie. If you want to make a movie, you can just hit record on your phone and just, right? But if I do that, you see my hand in every single one of those images, and that's not what we want. So in order to make that lean, we secured it. I put it to the side. It might fall over. I didn't secure it very well. Yeah, it fell over, but that's okay. Secured it a little bit better than that, and it gave me my lean. In the animation world, I'm telling you what I'm about to do with my bicycle. So when bikes turn, they lean. I shouldn't say turn, but when they maneuver, they lean before they actually move. So I had to lean the bike, and then I moved the bike over. Okay, it's anticipation. Is what it is.
So there's a lot of planning that goes into this. Now, on a I don't know, a regular stop motion, how many frames are you having to shoot for every second of actual video?
Well, if you do 30 frames a second or 30 images in a second, you need 30 pictures for 1 second of film. If you do 24, you need 24. You can skirt that by doing what's called animating on twos, which means you take 2 pictures for every 1 frame. So if you're doing 30 frames in a second, you basically half the amount of pictures that are moving because you've doubled up on a single image. So you basically are running 15 pictures for every second.
So your animation, I see here, it's got 173 total frames.
Yeah.
But it's only 11 seconds
Right.
of video.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you have to have a ton of patience
Yes.
to do stop motion animation. Is that what you're saying?
Stop motion is one of the most, the easiest thing to get into, but it's one of the hardest ways to actually animate because you have to do everything real, and if you don't want something to show up on camera, it's not the easiest to hide.
Right.
So.
And so this would be a virtual or a version of claymation.
Yes,
They're
so
very similar,
claymation
right?
is OG status. It's the original stop motion. So stop motion can be claymation, like the old
Wallace and Gromit.
Wallace and Gromit is claymation. They actually have older claymation. Now they've moved to more armatures. Your California raisins are kind of claymation.
Yeah, yeah,
Gumby is claymation.
Yeah.
Gumby's big time claymation.
Yeah.
He's literally
Because
clay.
he was clay. Yeah. It was Gumby.
So in the industry now, they've changed to more of armatures. So inside of their characters, inside of their characters, they will have a wire, and that way they can actually
Right.
stand without any
Yeah,
any
and that
props.
would be like the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
So on pretty much all of those, Leica is another studio that does it.
All right, so coming out this summer, we've got our special online virtual camps, and a birdie told me that there might be an animation camp in the mix there. And
Tweet, huh?
Yeah, and I think I also heard that your name got bantered about. You may be one of the presenters for that
Uh-oh.
camp. Yeah, so lots to look forward to this summer here at Exploration Place with camps, and there'll be a lot more information about that coming out on our website and our social media. But until folks can come back and see us, thank you for sharing some of your knowledge about stop motion, and we
You're
look
welcome.
forward to this week's live science show coming up on Friday.
You're welcome.
So let's take another look at the video.
We can play it one more time.
see
You
what
can see
happens.
the beauty that is my motorcycle. Now all we need is a bit of post with some sound, like, and there you go.
Cool. Well, I don't know. That one's in the book, folks. Thanks for coming out and checking us out this week, and we'll see you next time.